shot in the fourth round. He landed some good body punches, and he landed that right hand that I didn't see, and he got the finish. He did a great job.
Yeah, what do you think made that approach so effective? Like, were you tiring at that point, and maybe that's why the body work worked so well in the fourth as opposed to maybe earlier in the fight?
I kind of took the pressure off a little bit. I don't know why. Like maybe try to like rest and recover for the fifth round because he wasn't going anywhere. I don't know what the reasoning behind it was, but obviously it was a mistake.
Right. And I know Joe Rogan kind of asked you about the future and stuff in the cage. That was obviously immediately in the aftermath. I know it hasn't been too long, but have you had any more time to think about your future?
You know, a lot of times we base decisions in emotion. I don't want to be that guy, you know. So I'm gonna go back and talk to Selena and talk to my coaches, and we'll figure out what's next.
DC, I wanted to ask you just tactically, you were going in a lot of, especially in the second half of the fight, with your hands down a lot of the way. Were you that confident, like that, you know, you were able to just walk in there and land those shots?
The problem is I was going and he was hitting me, but then I didn't feel that much, you know. And it's not about like the shots that you take, you know. It's the one that you just don't see coming, and that was a great combination by Stipe off of that body shot. He threw that 1-2 right behind it, and I didn't see it. You know, a lot of times I see punches and I kind of roll with them, so I don't take the full brunt of the punch. But on that one, he landed perfect.
This is a difficult thing to ask in the aftermath of a loss, but when you get stopped in a fight like that, I'm sure you had no thought that you were going to be stopped. Does that compare to the kick to the head by Jones? I mean, or, you know, is this a different type of feeling because there's not the animosity?
Just losing is just terrible for me. You know, I'm a competitive guy, and just losing any type of fight is just terrible. But, you know, being finished is just, to me, is just insane, you know. So, I don't know. I mean, I never really thought about them in comparison to each other, you know, but, you know, that's twice I've been stopped. That's not good, you know, so I'm smart enough to understand that.
Lastly, he came in, I think, 11.5 pounds lighter, and the lightest he's ever been by far in the UFC. Did that make a difference in his quickness, and did you notice he was any faster than he was last time?
I didn't feel like he was faster. I really didn't, but I think in some instances he maybe tired a little bit more, and I think tonight he may not have tired as much as he did prior when he was bigger. But he didn't feel faster. I still felt like I could see what he was throwing, but I thought he just fought a good fight, you know. And I don't know, like, we fought what, 3.5, almost 4 rounds, you know. So I mean, I don't really know. Like, I haven't watched the fight, so I don't know how I was doing in the fight. You know, like, everything's going so fast in there, so I don't know, you know, how I was doing in regards to winning and losing. I felt like I was doing good, but you know, obviously he finished the fight, so it doesn't matter.
Was there any reason why you didn't go back to it just in the moment? Or?
You know, I think when you start finding success and landing things, you just kind of fall in love with it. You know, I feel it feels like the Gustafsson fight all over again when I wrestled a lot in the first round, and then for the last 4 rounds I just didn't, and they were begging me to do it then. But tonight I actually paid the ultimate price for not listening to my coaches. I'm usually pretty good about doing that.
And you landed 181 significant strikes, which is actually the most in a loss in UFC history.
What's that?
You landed the most significant strikes in a loss in UFC history. It's actually tied with your boy Max Holloway.
I didn't know how many times I hit him. I just know that I was hitting him, and I could see him getting marked up, you know, and I think you fall in love with the visuals of a guy's face getting marked up.
In the first fight, you hit him with that one shot in the clinch, and he went down, and he was done. Were you surprised that he was able to take as much punishment as he did?
No, I knew he had a good chin. You know, I knew the first time, because that punch I've landed prior, and the guys didn't go down. So I knew it would be different. I anticipated a long fight.
And Kevin asked you about Stipe's size, but you were also significantly lighter in this fight than you were against Derek Lewis and you were against Stipe the first time. What was the strategy there?
Because I figured it would be a longer fight. I figured that he wasn't going anywhere. You know, I understand the motivation in a rematch, and I figured he was going to be there for the long run, which he was. Just a couple more questions.
Thanks, Daniel.
Daniel, your first fight was 4.5 minutes. The second one was about 19. What was the biggest difference you think in Stipe's improvement this time around?
I just think that he's always been good. You know, he's always been very good. You know, so I guess tonight's fight was the fight I expected the first time. You know, that's kind of what I felt like it was. That was the fight I expected the first time.
And then specifically, you don't seem that you really knew what was happening in the fight. Did you think you were winning? And are you pleased with the overall performance that you put on?
You can't. It's hard to be pleased in a loss. But I mean, I felt like I was winning. I felt like I was winning the fight. I felt like I was hitting him a lot more than I was getting hit. But you know, I guess even if I was winning, I was winning until I wasn't. You know, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the end result is what matters. That's it. Hey guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you.